I said I'd make a video about this show, and I kept my promise. Together We Stand was one of 40 pilots in consideration for the 1986 to 1987 season. CBS had alone 18, pilots ideas, I think, or whatever. There was a lot of pilots in consideration. The idea for this series actually went back to the Brady Bunch. If you guys did not see my huge Brady Bunch video, I was talking about spin-offs for the show, and one of the spin-offs I mentioned was this show. You see, there was an episode in a Brady Bunch called Kelly's Kids, which was produced as a backdoor pilot that never got picked up. I mentioned that. So NBC president Brandon Tartikoff, who enjoyed betting on the success or failure of shows on the other networks, referred to the age of the concept behind Together We Stand when he called it a show that Sherwood Schwartz had been trying to peddle for eons. A feel-good comedy that surprised, am I reading that wrong? No, I am reading it wrong, I'm sorry. Oh, I've been trying to avoid talking about The Cosby Show, man, god damn it! Anyways, Together We Stand starred Elliot Gould and Dee Wallace Stone as David and Lori Randall, a loving couple trying to start a family. You know Elliot Gould. He was in the ER sitcom we talked about. He's Ross's dad on Friends. You know Dee Wallace Stone. We mentioned her already on this channel. She's the mom in Invisible Mom 1 and 2. Told they couldn't conceive naturally, the Randalls decide to adopt. So they adopt, 2 kids. Although, fun fact, they do end up having a natural son, and the son is played by Scott Grimes. You all know Scott Grimes for being an American Dad as Steve. He's in The Orville as Gordon, and he plays, I think, the dad in Ted. Take with that information what you will. Also, they adopt a girl named Amy, played by Katie O'Neill, and they also adopt a son. No, they adopt a son named Sam, who's played by Ki Hugh Kwan. We all know him. And then they adopt a daughter named Sally. So a couple more kids, you know. Nice stuff. Very, very mixed, good stuff. When CBS announced its schedule for the 1986 to 87 season, Together We Stand was given the 8 to 8:30 p.m. slot on Wednesdays, leading off the evening. It would be followed by another new series, Better Days, then following along with Magnum P.I. and The Equalizer. Its competition on the other networks consisted of Perfect Strangers on ABC and the first half hour of Highway to Heaven on NBC. Perfect Strangers might get a video one day because I don't think anyone ever talks about Perfect Strangers, except for the fact that Family Matters came from Perfect Strangers, but no one really talks about Perfect Strangers. They just talk about Family Matters because of Urkel. So what you need to know is that the show didn't do good at first, but then it did, and that's a good thing. So then on October 21st, CBS announced several programming changes, placing Together We Stand and The Twilight Zone on hiatus while canceling Better Days, which... do I even know that show? Don't matter. We're not adding to the list. This is where things immediately go bad for the show. So I've been referring to the show as Together We Stand, but the show would eventually go through a different name when Elliot Gould decided that he would not return to the show. So they killed his character off and renamed the show to Nothing Is Easy, making the show basically about the mom being a single mom taking care of all of her kids. Together We Stand wasn't actually the first series to get drastically retooled in an attempt to boost ratings or to replace its departed star. ABC's Burke Law was revamped to Amos Burke, Secret Agent, in September of 1965 for its 3rd season, which just turned out to be the last season. And NBC's Spencer was pulled off the air in January 1985 after just 6 episodes when Chad Lowe left the show. And then it returned a few months later as Under One Roof, but then it got canceled for good. So, in Nothing Is Easy, everything just changes when the father dies. So the mom, Lori, has to go back to work in school because she's studying to become a stenographer, but not only that, she needs to provide for her children. Joining the cast was Julia Migenes as a bitter divorcee named Marion Simmons, who lived next door to the family. In the first episode of the revamped series, the adoption agency that placed Sam and Sally with the Randalls reconsiders its decision because, well, There's no father. This is how it was back then, and it just is messed up. What, she can't take care of all the kids by her? No, that's very messed up, man. Even with all that, though, the show didn't do well. For the 1986 to 1987 season, Together We Stand, Nothing Is Easy averaged on a 11.7 ranking 66 out of 83 shows across all 3 networks. The final episode of the show aired on April 24th, before my birthday. I didn't do it. And in mid-May I don't remember, whatever, the show was canceled by CBS. In all, 13 episodes of the show were broadcast on CBS over the course of the season for, 86 and 87. And well, that's just sad because no one talks about the show. And not only that, but it's fallen into obscurity, never to be talked about or mentioned ever again. Thank you for watching this video. I am so excited for the next video. I am so excited because we are finally going to properly talk about Nosferatu, and I'm so hyped because before I couldn't. The movie just came out and I couldn't say anything that much. But before we talk about the remake, the beautiful remake, I wanted to say more in my video, but that was my first raw reaction to the movie, so I just said what I could without spoilers, because people get butthurt over the spoilers when really, this movie was a remake of a 102-year-old movie. But anyways, my video about Nosferatu will first be about the very, very first movie, and then I'll talk about the differences between the original movie and the Robert Eggers remake, and then one day I'll do a movie review about it if I can, but for now, I just really wanted to work on the Nosferatu video because I love editing videos like that. Oh man, it's gonna be so good.
How could this have happened?
How'd we get so far?
Thought we were a family.
Now here we are.
Together
We stand,
but never
was planned.
we showed up on a sunny day. Love has a funny way of arriving unexpected. Together
We stand,
but never
was planned. Showed up on a sunny day. Love has a funny way of arriving unexpected.
together
We stand,
together.
we stand. Nothing is easy, but you have to play the hand that you were dealt. Though nothing is easy on a sunny day, the coldest ice will melt. So let's live and love and smile. The struggle's all worthwhile. Nothing is easy, but our luck will change the way we knew it would. 'Cause nothing is easy, we'll just rearrange the bad